Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 30 of the Halftime Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Reese Kinder. Happy Thanksgiving week. Just a wonderful week of sports in general coming up this week. But in this episode, we're going to be recapping week 13 of college football. Not much games going over, but we're also going to be we're also going to be previewing Rivalry Week. It is finally here, the best time of the year. All these big rivalries, the Iron Bowl, the game, the Parliament, or I forgot what the South Carolina Clemson one's called, but the clean old fashioned hate, just a ton of huge rivalries that are coming up this week, and just a ton of action to get into. Also, some college basketball. We're going to be previewing that. A lot of tournaments here in Feast Week, and also we're going to take a look at the 12-team playoff bracket, the one that just got newly released. So that we'll get into all that here shortly. But gonna roll to this intro really quick, and let's get this episode started. What is up, everyone? And what a great week it is here. Just a great week. It's Feast Week for college basketball. It's Rivalry Week for college football. We had some college football last night for some MAC action. But gonna get into the episode. We're gonna get this episode started like we always do with a recap of the week before. We're gonna start with recap from week 13 college football. Not many games that we're gonna be recapping, about three here. But the first game on our list of recapping games is Oregon USC. This game was college game day, a big game for Oregon due to college football playoff implications. And big game for USC too, because they could have kept themselves in the hunt of that college football playoff spot. But USC lost this game 42-27, a huge win for Oregon at home. I kind of expected that to happen, but the stat line, we're going to get into it like we always do first. Jaden Mayava, 306 yards, 25 for 33, one touchdown, and or no, two touchdowns, two touchdowns, two interceptions. Sorry, guys, I'm just like going crazy right now. And then Dante Moore, 22 for 30, two touchdowns, and an interception. A great job from Jaden Mayava again to have another big game, but you see, not enough for USC because that defense is just, has not been there all season, and that's kind of one of the kinks that USC is trying to work out of their team. Is just like I think they have the offense for sure, but the defense is definitely just not there. Lincoln Riley has never been a defensive-minded guy. He's always been one of those that has a high-powered offense and a defense that gives up about 40 points a game, and you can't deal with that. I mean, you're going to face teams that have an offense that can compete with your offense, and if that ends up happening, you're going to be in trouble. But Oregon, luckily, in this game or USC in this game, gave up 42 points to Oregon. Did score 27. Oregon was lucky though that it wasn't more, because to be honest, Oregon's defense came up, or they did not really play well either. I mean, it was an offensive shootout for a while. It looked like it was going to be close. Oregon kind of pulled away at the end there, but it was a big win for the Ducks, and they now actually are I believe, the sixth seed in the bracket with a big win against USC. And they play Washington at Washington this next week, which should be a big one. And if you guys didn't see earlier, I posted my picks for this week. I posted my, basically who I'm going to pick and why. But Oregon is on there with Washington. And then USC, for them, a good season. They're going to make a good bowl game. They're gonna still be a good team, depending on if they keep Lincoln Riley, because Lincoln Riley, there's some speculation that he might go other places. I don't know. Maybe he stays at USC, but they can finish out the season, I believe, 9-3. So that would be a really good year for the Trojans, and I would really be happy to see what they can do. But yeah, I mean, just nothing really to talk about this game because I mean it was just a blowout almost, and USC did play good at times, but they played bad at times. Oregon though played really well. They basically locked themselves in college football playoff. They just got to beat Washington this weekend, who's 8-3, so it should be a good game there. But yeah, the Oregon wins 42-27 against USC, and that's our first game here of the Week 13 recap. But moving on to our next game on the slate, it is Pitt versus Georgia Tech, and I don't really know what happened, Georgia Tech. Like, I really wanted to see Georgia Tech make the college football playoff. I actually made a video right after they lost. Like, it's just it was inconsistency from the beginning. Like Haynes King did not have a good game. At one point, Pitt was up like 28-7. It was just not a it was not a fun game for a Georgia Tech fan. I mean, really hurts too because now I mean you're obviously going to get the automatic bid in for the ACC. It's going to probably be either Virginia, Duke, or SMU, one of those teams, or maybe even Miami. But you know Pitt really showed up to play. They had a great game plan. But we're gonna get in the stat line first. Mason Heinstill, 226 yards, 20 for 27, two TDs, and then Haynes King, 257 yards, 27 for 41, two TDs, and two interceptions actually. So yeah, I mean, just a bad like those turnovers really kill, and it's also the 100-yard pick six. I think kind of like basically ruined the game for Georgia Tech. They would have won the game maybe if it wasn't for that 100-yard pick six that Haynes King threw. And it really sucks too because I had my hopes that Georgia Tech was ready for this game. They knew what to expect against a Pittsburgh team that's been up and down for a little bit of the season, especially after that Notre Dame loss. I thought Pitt was going to be down, but Pitt got right back up. They had a great coaching staff there, making a great game plan against a Georgia Tech team that's really good. And there's speculation Brent Key could go somewhere, but I don't think he's going to anymore. Georgia Tech's offensive coordinator, though, I think will be gone by the end of the season. But it really sucks for Georgia Tech because this team was so good this year and misses out on a chance to make the college football playoff, which is really just heartbreaking for the Yellow Jackets. It was going to be one of the first times they've made it, or actually the first time they've made it in the new 12-team era. I even think in the first time ever. But Georgia Tech, just a bad loss here, and it really sucks to see that. And I think the Yellow Jackets. I mean, the Georgia game, I don't think they're going to win, so they'll finish 9-3. They'll make a good bowl game. Pitt though has something to play for. Because Pitt can still realistically make the ACC championship game, which would be really big. That'd honestly be insane if Pitt made the ACC championship game. But yeah, I think for sure Pitt will end up possibly beating Miami. So yeah, but Pitt gets a big win at Georgia Tech. What is it, 42-33, and it was just a big win for the Panthers, and they got a huge win against the Yellow Jackets on Saturday. And then our next game on the pick'em or on the slate, just the week 13 recap is Missouri and Oklahoma. This is the last game of week 13. Yeah, a low scoring game, defensive battle. Missouri just, I mean, shot themselves in the foot, and it really sucks too that Missouri did that because Missouri should have won that game. And I think if even Coach Venables will probably tell you, he'll be like, yeah, I mean, Missouri should have won that game because like it was bad. Missouri was had opportunities. They turned the ball over. Just not a good game for the Tigers. And getting the stat line here, Bo Perbula, 231 yards, 20 for 35, two interceptions, and then John Mateer, 173 yards, 14 for 30, and two TDs. Good job from John Mateer, finally starting to throw the ball a little bit. But Missouri, the turnovers. Bo Preville's first game back. I didn't really expect this game to be close, though. I did expect Oklahoma to win, but Missouri had chances to win this game, and Preville just did not provide and really put Missouri back. Honestly, pushed them back, and now Missouri has to play Arkansas this upcoming week, which they should get a win there. But honestly, I mean, just a really bad loss for the Tigers, but a big win for Oklahoma. They basically clinched the college football playoff berth almost. They just got to beat LSU, which they should. Looks like this Oklahoma team's a lot better than I expected. The one thing I will say that's kind of just a scare for Oklahoma is the passing game. It looks like because Mateer the past few weeks he's thrown for less than 200 yards, and I don't know if they can win with that formula. Maybe they can. Their defense is good enough to hold teams to. You see 6 points against Missouri. Alabama was only held to 21 points the week prior. So they've had plenty of games this year that they've held teams under 20 or even right at 20. So I think Oklahoma could be good. just depending on who they play. I don't know who they'll play yet, but right now it's kind of looking like Notre Dame maybe is who they'll play, which I hope they beat Notre Dame because Notre Dame's the most overrated team, I think. Because even though they beat Syracuse 70-7, it's still Syracuse. Like Syracuse sucks, but um, yeah, I think Oklahoma and Missouri was just it was a crazy game, but also at the same time, like I was really shocked that Missouri did not win this game because they had opportunities. They had a chance to do something, but just could not capitalize off of it. And you see what happened. So yeah, final from Norman, 17-6. Oklahoma gets a win. They basically locked their college football playoff hopes up, and Missouri falls in another game, and they got to play Arkansas this upcoming week to finish out their regular season and make a bowl game. So yeah. Missouri Oklahoma final from Norman 17-6. But now we're going to move to our Week 14 preview. Our current picking record 57-53. And just another week, some more games to pick, some more intriguing matchups that we have, and it is rivalry week, the week we have all waited for, the last week of regular season. Next week we go from 60 games this week to 10 games next week in conference play or conference championship week, and it's just going to be this should be a really fun week. A lot of upsets, a lot of storylines coming in this week. But let's get this one started, and we're going to start with the Egg Bowl. And the question is here, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, going to LSU maybe. I don't know. A lot of people keep telling me he's staying. A lot of people saying he's going. I don't know what to believe right now. I think he's going to LSU. I think it's just not announced yet. But yes, this game, a big game for Ole Miss, and Mississippi State has a chance to do something big in this one, and it's gonna be an insane matchup, because Mississippi State, all they have to do is just get a big win, and Ole Miss is eliminated. This Mississippi State team too is just a high-powered offense. The defense, though, is not necessarily as good, but Jeff Lebby has turned this program around. I believe this is his second year. I don't know. I've heard first year, second year from different people. I believe it's his second year. But Jeff Lebby's turned this program around. Mississippi State looking to upset Ole Miss on Friday. Can Mississippi State eliminate Ole Miss? Yes, for certain. I really think so. This Mississippi State team has shown this year they can compete with some big dogs in the SEC. They almost beat Texas. I don't know who else they almost beat. They've almost beaten some teams this year that a lot of people didn't expect. They've also beaten some teams that they shouldn't have. But yeah, Mississippi State needs to get a big win against Ole Miss, and I think they'll be able to do that because Ole Miss. This is the thing. The reason I say this, I did pick Ole Miss to win, but the reason I'm saying this is because I think, to be honest, I really feel like Mississippi State can honestly make Ole Miss feel flustered, and Ole Miss as well. I think is going to come to this game. They're going to be like, well, we might be losing our coach, so we don't know what to expect, and the announcement's supposed to come right after the Egg Bowl. I seriously think Mississippi State can win this game, but I just think Ole Miss will win it. I don't know. I said Mississippi State will win it, Ole Miss will win it. I think Ole Miss will win it for sure, though. But I think it will definitely be close, and it should be a good Egg Bowl. If I had to say any predictions, I'd say probably Ole Miss wins 20-17. It'd be a really close game. But yeah, I got Ole Miss winning this one. Should be a great game on Friday at noon. The Egg Bowl, a big rivalry, always a good one too. And our next game on the rivalry week slate, it is the clean, old-fashioned hate rivalry. It is Georgia versus Georgia Tech. And if Georgia Tech wins this one, they can screw up, I think, a lot of things because Georgia will. Okay, so Georgia will maximum probably fall back 4 spots if they lose that game, maybe 5, but they'll still make the SEC championship game. So I don't think it'll matter. But Georgia Tech can definitely rock a few things, but I just don't see Georgia Tech winning this game, especially after last week. I don't believe in this team anymore. Georgia's a good team. I think it'll be close, but I don't think Georgia Tech wins this game. It would really be a shocker to me if they won that game. So yeah, I got the Bulldogs in this one easily. I think Gunnar Stockton is able to find his receivers. I think Georgia's defense holds Georgia Tech a lot. I think the final score might be something like 35-21. Georgia beats Georgia Tech in Mercedes-Benz. Going to our next rivalry game, this is a big one. This game really matters a lot for SEC championship hopes for Texas A&M and also Texas just trying to maybe sneak in the college football playoff. It's Texas A&M and Texas. These two teams faced off last year. The Aggies trying to punch a ticket with a big win. They're trying to punch their SEC championship ticket with a big win on Friday night. This game I really expected to be close. The spread is 2.5. I expected to be closer than that, maybe a 1 point game. Texas A&M, listen to me, they're a good team. They're gonna win this game. But don't be surprised when Texas keeps this close. I know a lot of people are like, well, A&M has been really just, they've been a good offensive team this year. Marcel Reed's been good. He looks like a Heisman quarterback. I mean, yes, he has. But at the same time, this Texas team has started to find life. And I think Arch Manning is finally gotten in his groove towards the end of the season, and this Texas team will end up possibly playing close, maybe an upset. I don't know. I'm picking A&M to win, but I think Texas and Texas A&M will be really close. It was a great game last year. It's going to be a great game this year, and A&M could make this could be their first ever SEC championship appearance. They're trying to do that, but the scenario right now. So if A&M loses, it could be Bama if Bama wins the Iron Bowl, or it could be Georgia. It could be Ole Miss. Yeah, it could be. There's a ton of opportunities for different teams to make it. So it's not just Texas A&M. Texas A&M's got to win this one though in order to lock their spot up. Because Georgia, if Texas A&M wins, Georgia makes it. Because Georgia is over. The only team they wouldn't make it over is maybe Bama. But no, I think this Texas A&M team will get a win, but it'll be a close win in Arlington, Texas. So yeah, it should be a great game, and I'm excited to see this one on Friday night. I'm just ready for this rivalry week. But now going to the Saturday slate of things, it is the game Michigan at home versus Ohio State. Can the Wolverines? I know that says the seventh rivalry game in a row. It's actually I meant the seventh pick in a row. Is what I meant, but that it's supposed to say the seventh rivalry pick in a row, but don't worry about that. Ohio State, though, I think this game is going to be closer than a lot of people think. It's going to be a low-scoring game like last year's game. But I will tell you this: if Ohio State wins, there will be another fight break out because Ohio State's going to plant the flag at the logo. There will be another fight, and I think it's just going to do the same thing last year's rivalry week had. But yeah, just had to say that really quick. But this game, okay, so Michigan defensively is okay, but offensively is just weird. Like they'll go for some short gains and then they'll bust open for like a 40-yard gain, and then it'll just go back to the same thing. So I don't know if Michigan can win this game. I picked them to win just because I think Ohio State, this is their first like real test since Texas, and I think Ohio State's gonna have some trouble offensively, but defensively they won't. I think this game, if it's a final score of anything, it's probably gonna be a final score of like 14-10. I have I have Michigan winning 14-10 if that's anything. I really see it being a defensive battle. They'll probably beat Julian Sayin, I think will throw at least an interception, maybe two. Bryce Underwood will probably throw an interception for sure, maybe fumble the ball. But the cool thing about this game is 80% chance of snow at kickoff and the rest of the way. So we're going to get a snow game on rivalry week for Michigan Ohio State. So it's going to be peak cinema. I mean, this game's going to be just insane. There's going to be a ton of limelight on it from Fox doing big new kickoff. College game days going there to Ann Arbor. This should be a really good game. I don't think this will be a blowout. It's a rivalry game for a reason. Michigan's going to come to play. Michigan can't make the college football playoff. I don't think so, unless things just go totally wrong. But Ohio State has a lot to play for to lock that number one seed in because they still got to play Indiana next week in the conference championship game. So yeah, Michigan trying to win their fifth rivalry game in a row, but should be a big should be a big game for the game, and it's going to be a great one in Ohio State and Michigan. But our next rivalry game up, it is the one, the only Iron Bowl. The Iron Bowl at 6:30, a night game. And actually, fun fact about the Iron Bowl, um, Auburn is 4-1 at night games since the last time they played 2007. But they are 4-1 in night games in the Iron Bowl. So never know what could happen in Jordan-Hare Stadium. I'm going to be there at the game. This is going to be an electric atmosphere. I already know it will be. But Alabama has to win this game or they are out of the college football playoff. And it just sets up for a recipe for an upset. I mean, you get an Alabama team struggled a little bit this season. Second-year head coach. You get an interim head coach in DJ Durkin on the other side. You get a new quarterback, Ashton Daniels, Deuce Knight. That experiment's out of the way. He's good. He'll be there next year, maybe, depending on the coach. But, you know, this game means something. This game is a huge rivalry game. I've been around this rivalry for 8 years now. I've been to almost every Iron Bowl for the past 8 years. And this is one of the best rivalries, probably the best rivalry in college sports. I mean, these two teams hate each other. The fans hate each other. I mean, it's not like Michigan, Ohio State, but this game is a big game. And Auburn, they're going to come to play, and that's why I think they're going to win this game on Saturday night. This is going to be a big game. Ty Simpson is going to look exactly how he looked against Oklahoma. He's going to throw those good passes, but he's going to turn the ball over when it matters. And Auburn is going to win this game by a touchdown. I think Auburn will get a big win, and there will be a field storm on Saturday night. And it will be an electric atmosphere there in Jordan-Hare Stadium, and it should be an outstanding matchup between these two teams. But Auburn versus Alabama, just it never gets better than that. I mean, it's always the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's always been just a great rivalry to watch, and it should be a fun one in Auburn, Alabama. And we're going to be there, and guess who else is going to be there? Josh Pate's going to be there. So going to be an outstanding atmosphere. A lot of people there that are covering sports. So yeah, exciting to see this Iron Bowl and maybe cover it after. I will possibly be live on the field after the game to just recap some of the biggest moments from the game. But yeah, Auburn wins the Iron Bowl against Alabama this Saturday. Go ahead and put that in your book, whatever you're going to put that in. Put it in as your bet, whatever. I mean, you're going to check that list off. You're going to be like, all right, we're looking at rivalries. We're looking at the game. We're looking at the Iron Bowl. We're looking at clean old-fashioned hate. We're looking at the Egg Bowl. We're looking at those. We're all checked off right now. We got all of our picks in. We're hoping it lasts. And Auburn's going to beat Alabama on Saturday. Should be a good one for the Iron Bowl. But going to our next game on the Pick'em, it is Miami versus Pitt. This is not necessarily a rivalry, but they always do play the last game of the year, basically. Sorry. But Miami can get in the college football playoff with a win, but Pitt, good game against Georgia Tech last week. They are the giant killers, and I think they're going to do it again. I think Pitt has shown that they can beat good teams. It's at Pitt. It's going to be a cold game. Miami, Carson Beck, Mario Cristobal. This game is going to set up for just a big game, and I think Pitt's going to be able to get a big win. Pitt has been dominant this season when it comes to playing these teams, except Notre Dame, and I think the Panthers are going to get a big win. I just don't think Miami's ready for this game. I think Miami's going to come in there. They're going to be like, well, we can make the college football playoff. Pitt's easy, and then Pitt's going to end up showing them up, and it's going to be a crazy game. But yeah, I think the Panthers get a big win against the Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes are eliminated from the ACC title game and from the college football playoff. So yeah, I expect Pitt to win, but don't be surprised if Miami keeps it close or even wins the game. I think Miami could possibly win, but Pitt right now is my team to win. And our last game on the Week 14 recap or Week 14 preview is going to be Vanderbilt, Tennessee. This is a big game because Vanderbilt can technically still make the college football playoff. They just need a lot of things to go right for them. They would need like Georgia to lose, Ole Miss to lose, Bama to lose, Miami to lose. They would need a lot of teams to lose, but they can somehow make the college football playoff with a win, and I think they're going to get that win. Diego Pavia played great against Kentucky. I know it's Kentucky, but he played great against them last week. They're going to a hostile Tennessee environment. Last year, Tennessee got a big win in Nashville. I think Vanderbilt's going to return the favor, and they are going to get a big win in Knoxville. They're going to travel up north, get a big win, and Vanderbilt going to finish 10-2 for the first time in gosh knows how long. And the Commodores are going to have a great season, and we'll see if they make the college football playoff because we'll highlight those college football playoff rankings here soon. But yeah, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, a great game, and this should be an outstanding matchup between these two teams. And yeah, I got Vanderbilt winning this one. But on Tennessee side of things, I think Tennessee can keep it close. Joey Aguilar has played some good football. I just think Tennessee's a little overrated. They haven't played many good teams this year, and I think they're playing a good team in Vanderbilt, and they're going to find out that Vanderbilt is really good and is going to end up winning that game. So yeah, I think the Commodores get a big win against Tennessee in Knoxville to finish out their season at 10-2. But now we are going to move away from college football. We are going to go to some college basketball. College basketball season is just now beginning, and it's already looking good. I mean, we're looking right now at some games today that start soon. Actually, Vanderbilt right now currently playing, but college basketball overview. There is no new changes in the rankings really. Vanderbilt's in now, and I believe San Diego State's in or something. I forgot who else came in, but yeah, gonna look at just the scores from the week starting on Monday. Some of the big games we had in the top 25. Syracuse took Houston, number 3 Houston, to overtime, and Houston won that game by 4, 78-74. A big game for the Cougars. They were able to outlast Syracuse there in the Players Era Festival. A lot of big teams in that Players Era Festival. And then Michigan dominates San Diego State by 40 points, 94-54, in a great game. Lindenborg for Michigan got 15 points, 6 rebounds. Great job for the Wolverines there. And then Gonzaga upsets Alabama. I guess you can consider an upset. So Gonzaga beats Alabama in the Players Era Festival 95-85. Good game. Both teams were back and forth. I watched that game. There's a late game. They were back and forth, but then Gonzaga was able to get the edge and end up winning that game and ended up going 5-0 now to start the season. Actually, 6-0 to start the season. And then Iowa State outlasts St. John's. They won by 1 point, 83-82 in the Players Era Festival, and Iowa State improved to 5-0. That was the first real test for Iowa State. That's why I leaned more towards St. John's in my pick. I was like, well, Iowa State's got a lot of talent, but I just got to see them play one game. And they played that one game, and I really think this Iowa State team is going to be a good team. And yeah, they showed it right there against St. John's in the Players Era Festival. And then Auburn beat Oregon 84-73. Todd Pettiford scored 24 points in the Players Era Festival, and they were able to get a big win against Oregon by 11. And then Seton Hall in the Maui Invitational pulled off the first unranked upset of the season. Seton Hall improved to 6-0 after defeating number 23 NC State 85-74 in a big win for Seton Hall. Really didn't expect Seton Hall to be that good, but they're starting to come along strong and become a really good team, they look like. And yeah, should be a really good team, Seton Hall, moving forward in this tournament. And yeah, really, really interested to see what they do. And then last night, Tuesday night, it was Tennessee beating Houston, even though Tennessee kind of got criticism over their schedule, but they were able to beat Houston 76-73, and it was a great win for the Vols in the Players Era Festival. And then Michigan dominates Auburn in the Players Era Festival 102-72 in a huge game, and Lindenberg scored 17 points again. Or actually scored 15 the game before that, but he scored 17 there. And then, what is it? And then you see here, California upsets UCLA in the Mizzen Main or Mizzen plus Maine Empire Classic, and California in the Chase Center ended up winning that game 80-72, and now Cal improves to 6-1. Cal might be a better team than a lot of people think, so watch out for them in that Empire Classic tournament. And then later on today, on Wednesday, you see Vanderbilt's currently playing Western Kentucky. But later on today, you have some big matchups. You have St. John's facing off against Auburn tonight at 7 p.m. on True TV. St. John's, I think, could get a big win against Auburn. St. John's a very tall team, and Auburn does not do good against tall teams. So give me St. John's in that one. And then Gonzaga will be facing off against Michigan in the championship game of the Players Era Festival tonight at 8:30. Really good game. Both teams, Gonzaga is coming on strong already this year with Mark Few, and then Michigan looking really solid so far this year as well at number 7. So number 12 versus number 7 later on tonight. And those are the big games tonight. And then tomorrow for Thanksgiving, we have a good slate there. You got about 2 good games tomorrow. You got North Carolina playing Michigan State in the Fort Myers Tip-Off Beach Division. North Carolina 6-0, Michigan State 6-0. Michigan State coming off of some huge wins recently. They're looking pretty good. And then North Carolina also looking really good, starting 6-0 this season. And then at 7 p.m. in Chicago at the United Center, you have number 4 Duke versus number 22 Arkansas. Duke, the Boozer twins, looking solid so far this season. Arkansas, a little bit of question marks. They almost lost to Winthrop, I believe, last week. They only won that game by 1 point. So Duke, I think, can get a big win here if they're just locked in and paying attention to the details that Arkansas is lacking. But yeah, those are some 2 big games for Thanksgiving Day. And then Friday, you have 11:30 a.m. tip. It is UConn versus Illinois. UConn's 5 and Illinois 13. This is at Madison Square Garden, so this is a big game between those 2 teams. Illinois trying to bounce back after losing to Bama just a week ago, and UConn trying to bounce back after losing to Arizona a week ago as well. So both the teams trying to bounce back and get their respective wins this season. And then Saturday, nothing really, and then Sunday there's really nothing, and that would wrap up Feast Week. So yeah. Just a big college basketball week this week. You see my picking record, 25-11. I believe that kind of has that's kind of degraded a little bit because I think we've missed like 4 picks this week. So not a good week to start already, but hopefully it continues. But that's going to do it for college basketball overview. We'll be back next week with some more of that. Since college football is slowly ending, we'll have more college basketball games to cover. But yeah, big college basketball week here for Feast Week, and we're now going to move on, though, to our next headline. It is the college football playoff bracket. The college football playoff bracket came out last night. And, you know, another week and more rankings. And, yeah. So looking in to the newest college football playoff rankings, we'll put it up here on the screen. But Ohio State is 1 again, Indiana's 2, Texas A&M's 3, Georgia's 4, Texas Tech's 5, Oregon jumps Ole Miss and goes to 6, Ole Miss goes back 7, Oklahoma's 8, Notre Dame's 9, Alabama's 10, BYU's 11, Miami is 12, Utah is 13, Vanderbilt's 14, Michigan is 15, Texas is 16, USC drops back 2 spots after getting blown out, and they're 17, Virginia's 18, Tennessee 19, Arizona State 20, SMU not ranked last week, but they're now 21. Pitt 22, Georgia Tech 23, SMU 24, and Arizona 25. So a big game for these teams coming up. A lot of big games actually, and you know BYU, Miami, Utah, and Vanderbilt, and even Michigan, and from the 11 to 15 spot are the teams to look out for this weekend, because if they win their games, they will make the college football playoff. Even though Miami's already in it, I think you could say those teams can make the college football playoff for sure. But I mean, just a good this one was a good ranking. The committee did a really good job. I still don't like Miami at the 11th spot. I think Virginia will be at the 11th spot personally. That's what mine looked like. So yeah, I think you'll see that happen. But yeah, overall the committee did a good job. And this week's rivalry week, next week conference championship week, and then after that is selection Sunday. So only 2 more Saturdays left until selection Sunday, which should be really good. But not much to talk about because the committee did a good job. The rankings look really good. Just showing that bracket there for a second. But yeah, that's going to do it for episode 30 of the Halftime Sports Talk Show. I hope you guys don't forget to like and subscribe, and also go check out our Instagram, our TikTok, our X, our Facebook, everything like that. Go check it out so you can see all of our content, all of my content that I post. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a great and wonderful Thanksgiving. Spend time with your family, watch some football, watch some sports in general, and always just stay safe out there. Hopefully you guys have a good weekend, and yeah, we'll be back again next week.